Hi, Meher. Thank you for joining us today. It's really a pleasure to have you. I have been following you on LinkedIn for some time and have seen your post, the way you help individuals in their job search and career journeys.
Thank you for having me. My name is Meher Mardoyan. I moved from Lebanon in 2012 to Vancouver, BC. And 4 years ago, I moved to Newfoundland and Labrador. As a career coach myself, I would say I just fell in love with the industry because I was a job seeker myself when I moved and I was having a lot of trouble finding a job. But after a while, when I was able to establish myself and I was getting jobs, I wanted to give back to the community and help other people who are having problems navigating or finding jobs. So I start helping some friends, and then I start having interviews with experts, recruiters, hiring manager, which started for 8 years now, and I've been interviewing hundreds. The knowledge that they shared with me is the knowledge that I'm sharing in my programs, and advices that I'm giving is from the experts and what I'm seeing in the industry these days. That's what I'm giving and helping my clients.
And what personal experiences led you into career coaching?
Yeah, I would say the first thing that I noticed when I moved here, the importance of networking and having a good LinkedIn account. I didn't know how to use it. I used to go to networking events and I was saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you help me? But after a while, I noticed that that was not the proper way to approach people because people will help people that they know and build relationship. Although sometimes I feel that it's difficult when you're a job seeker. You need a job now. Let's say, Sabine, you are hiring now. But if I reach out to you and I want to build a relationship with you, hoping that in 3 or 4 months there will be another job, but you're hiring now, right? So that's the part that I tell clients that you need to build relationship even if you have a job because you never know in this market what the future holds. But we need to be patient. Sometimes people on LinkedIn will help, sometimes they will not help. So we cannot assume that everyone is going to help. And the example I give to the clients is that when you go to a bank, you open a bank account and you put deposits, right? You cannot withdraw from day one. Otherwise, it will be minus. So that's the strategy that I tell people then how to network. It takes time. And sometimes, yes, the timing will not be helpful, but that's the reality. And then again, just be realistic in your approach is the key these days.
I think I agree with that point because I have seen when there's a job posting, people reach out to the HR, and if they don't get any response, they just stop. But they don't look forward to maintaining a relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe in future there might be an opportunity, and
Correct.
you might be the person whom they are looking for,
Yes.
right? So I think that's a great point. And was there a moment in your own career that changed how you approach job searching now?
I would say my first job in HR, it took me 9 months of networking back in Vancouver. And there was a time that I was like very close to give up. And I went to all the events, I was reaching to people, I've been active more on LinkedIn, but nothing was working. And I was like, what can I do more? And I would say out of the bloom, I met someone and then he said, oh, I know someone that's hiring. And then he introduced me to that person. And then he said that he knows another person that's hiring. And then they just gave my name to that person. And what happened is that they just put my resume on top of all the applications. And because I was referred, they gave me the opportunity to do an interview. But other than that, I prepared for the interview. I was ready. I did all my homework. I just needed that belief or that break that someone referred to me. And as we know these days, 70% of the jobs are through referrals. All the posting is just maybe it might be just for legal purposes. And again, we know that for every job posting, there are 400 or 500 applications, and they just interview 2%, which means like 8 people out of the 8, they only hire 1. So you should be very great in your resume or in an interview because your resume will give you interview and your stories and how are you prepared will give you the job offer. So if you're applying to 50 or 60 roles and you're not getting any response, then something is wrong with your resume. But if you're getting the calls and if you're doing the interview, but you're not getting the job offer, then something is wrong in your interview or in your selling. So that's what I tell people that where they need to focus.
Okay. Thank you, man. Over to Aishi.
Thank you, Subin. So I feel like when job seekers feel overwhelmed, what should they focus on before applying to any of the roles?
Yeah, I tell my clients based on my programs as before applying to any role, we need to focus on your values. What are your values? What you can bring to the table? Because it's important to know what you want than just going and applying left and right. Because you need to know your values. You need to know yourself. You need to have a good mindset, and having a positive mindset in the job market or in job search is important because as we know, job search is a 24-hour thing. It's a full-time job to find a job. And you cannot be in front of the computer all the time applying. So I give my clients a schedule. So Monday morning, you're going to comment on 10 companies you're applying. Monday afternoon, you're going to go out in the nature and walk. Tuesday morning, you're going to go for a coffee meeting with someone, and Tuesday afternoon, you're going to join a group or you're going to join a workshop, something like that. Wednesday morning, maybe you're going to take time off because it's okay to take time off and it's okay to be overwhelmed. So you need to take care of yourself. And then maybe Wednesday afternoon, you go and do comment or watch a video or watch, something on YouTube that's about job search or read a book or something. So you need to do a variety of things and not just in front of the computer, apply, because you need to take that. And again, also, if you applied for a job or if you get a phone call or something, those are small wins and you need to celebrate those wins. And if you can, over the weekends, take time off. Close the laptop, go out, be with your friends, be your family, and then come back on Monday refresh. You cannot be 24/7 thinking about job. It will not be helpful for you.
And if someone is feeling overwhelmed because of applying the jobs and they're not getting any answers, how can they still stay
I would say
motivated?
go out, reach to a friend, have a conversation. I would say joining groups on LinkedIn is a good way to ask people questions because if they're all job seekers, let's say in project management or in IT, you can ask questions there because all the people there are in that industry, right? And they can help you. You just need one or two people to reach out, have a conversation. As I said, go out in the nature. Gym is important. Your physical body or your mental body also needs a rest. Talk to a friend. If you are in university, maybe go to your university alumni on LinkedIn, ask people questions or go to their career sites, and that will help you. But it's important to take time off, and it's okay to be overwhelmed. That's nothing wrong because nowadays, it takes between 6 to 9 months finding a job these days. It might be less, it all depends, but it's a long journey and you need to take care of yourself.
And so, with that being said, do you think that AI has changed the way recruiters and hiring managers evaluate today candidates?
I want to say yes and no, but I don't know how, from the manager's perspective, how they're evaluating. In the ATS system, they're looking for more the keyword. Maybe they're doing the first initiative, email sending out. But in terms of evaluation, I feel that we should still keep the human touch because when you are interviewing someone, you're talking to a person, right? The AI will not interfere. You're taking the notes and everything and you're going to evaluate. I feel that AI, in my opinion, is the first steps in when a job seeker is sending an application. We know that there's the ATF system that's, they're looking for the keywords or what parameters the hiring manager has put. Let's say if they put that this person should have 3 years of experience in sales and you have 2 years of experience, automatically it will kick you out, although you have a good experience or you have accomplished. So we don't know how the employers are using AI, but I've seen and I've heard that some companies are using AI from job seekers' perspective in applying for roles on their behalf and customizing their resume and sending their resume on their behalf. So I've heard about that part, but we cannot ignore the AI interference in job seekers. And, I've seen a lot of job career coaches saying that how to use AI, how to use ChatGPT in customizing your resume, how to make sure that it's ATS, how to be prepared for an interview. And on the other side, I also heard a lot of recruiters saying that we are seeing a lot of copy-paste style resumes because of the use of AI. So I would say use AI, but don't just copy-paste. Make sure that you're still hearing your voice. You're still using, some of the words might be very, what's the word I want to use? It's like
AI driven.
very AI, and then it's not commonly used. So don't use those words because it will red flag or it will be seen that it's not you.
Yeah, that's true. And so when you talk about ATS, can you give our viewers and listeners a little bit more on what ATS is and how does it work with HRIS?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of myth around ATS. People think like ATS filters like everything, and then you need to be like, having that keywords match with your job duties and responsibilities. So there's a lot of hype around ATS.
Yes. ATS is used by companies so that they can kind of evaluate all, let's say, if they're having 400 resumes, they're not going to use all of them, right? So ATS is just kind of evaluating resumes. And again, as I said earlier, based on what parameters the company is using. As I said, if they are very strict, you need to have a 3 years experience and you have 1 year, automatically you're out. Now, the keywords, I've heard that it's very important, and there are some application, I don't remember the name now, that you can upload your resume, you can upload your job and the job description, and it will tell you how much you are aligned. And based on research that I've heard is you need to have 80% match and above to apply to a role. If you don't have it, change the words. Yes, let's say if they use team words and you don't have in your resume team words, make sure that you have it. How you can know what are the key words? And again, if you're applying, let's say, for a customer service role, there are, let's say, 4 or 5 job posting out there. Upload those resumes, and via Google AI, it can tell you what are the keywords, what are the top keywords, and making sure that you have those keywords in your resume or in your cover letter, because those are the things that they are looking for. I always check the skill set or the qualification areas, let's say teamwork, problem solver. I mean, those are generic, but make sure that you have those. And again, even if you do it, it doesn't guarantee from employer's perspective they're going to pass. So it's kind of a riddle, I would say, is you need to forget. That's why the networking part, that's why being on LinkedIn is the important part, because sometimes referrals or LinkedIn will be good. A lot of times I tell people that even if you find your new job, keep networking on LinkedIn, keep being active on LinkedIn, because you never know what the future holds.
So when you say Google AI and you upload your resume, so how does it help?
It will generate the keywords from all 5 or 6 job posting. What are the most frequent use of keywords? And it will generate you those keywords that this keyword has been 5 times, or this keyword has been 6 or 7 times. It means that it's important from across 5 or 6 job posting. So those are the things that employers are looking for.
I see. Is there any other AI you recommend doing the same thing?
Nothing that's coming in my mind. As I said, there is this website, I don't remember the name now, that, as I said, you upload your resume, upload your resume and the job posting, and it will tell you how much you match, and change it so that you match at least 80%. And then the other one is to know what are the keywords. Again, Google AI will help you with that. Again, we can upload 5 or 6 job posting on ChatGPT and ask it, what are the keywords that you're seeing mostly used in this? And then it will give you an idea. And again, it will give you an idea, making sure that you use them in your resume when you're customizing.
Do you see that?
Thanks, Arushi. As a career coach, and I have heard and listened to many of the career coaches, they often talk about clarity before action.
Yes.
How can someone find clarity when they feel stuck for a long time?
I would say first thing, ask your friends. Ask 5 of your close friends to describe yourself. You're friendly, you are good communicator. So those are some of the adjectives that will generate, okay, I am those people. And also there are some assessments. There are strong inventory assessment that I've seen that people are using, and it will kind of give you an idea, okay, based on this is your personality, and these are some of the jobs that you need to apply that also can give you clarity. And also just write what kind of jobs you are happy to do or what attracts you to a role. Is it the salary? Is it the location? Is it the duties? So that also can give you clarity. For me, I would say I'm a very creative and very outspoken person. I cannot be sitting in a room like accounting or accounts payable or in HR payroll benefits. I cannot do those. So I need a role that involves kind of a creativity, kind of delivering workshops or going out, talking to people. Those are the roles that makes me alive. So I apply to those roles. I know that a lot of times, especially for immigrants and newcomer, when you come to Canada, you have some difficulties in terms of your credentials are not recognized or your experience are not recognized. What can you do? We always say about survival jobs, but we can also set temporary jobs that can gain you experience, local experience, volunteering, and it doesn't mean that you need to stop applying to other roles, because I did some survival jobs myself when I came, but those were helping me gain experience, especially a lot of times we heard that about you don't have Canadian experience. And I know that in Ontario, that language will be removed, from employers. But again, in order to navigate the Canadian job market, you need some Canadian local experience. It can be survival job or, temporary job, but it doesn't mean that when you finish, you go home and you do nothing. No, I did that for 3 months. But after that, when I was coming home, I was still networking. I was applying to other roles. I went to events. So it doesn't stop you. But things are changing little by little. But still, I've heard a lot of people saying that some employers are still saying about the Canadian experience, or in a nice way, they're saying that we're looking for some experiences, or we went with another candidate who has more experience, more close to what we're looking for, right? And again, for legal purposes, they cannot say that we're discriminating you, right? So we need to be careful in that sense of rejection doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Rejection means that you need to adjust maybe your approach. And that's why I keep telling people applying for a job should be your last resort. First, you need to have a clarity. Second, you need to know your stories. Third, you need to be active on LinkedIn. Fourth, you need to know your personal brand. And then fifth, you need to constantly networking and building relationship, authentic relationship of networking and not transactionals.
I think those were some of the good points, because we are always thinking when there's a job search, it's always firstly about resume. That's the thing which comes into our mind, even as a job seeker, right?
All right.
Any job seeker, I would say. I think these are great points. What does a strategic job search look like compared to a traditional apply everywhere approach?
Yeah, apply. Hopefully something will come up. Those days are gone. Strategically, I would say if there's a job posting that you are liking, first try, do you know anyone there? If you don't know, follow the company. Now, I know that sometimes there are deadlines on job posting. It can give you kind of a direction, but again, it might be just because they already have someone in mind, but they need to put a job posting for 2 weeks. That's why I tell people, identify 5 to 10 companies that you want to work. Follow them on LinkedIn. In your schedule, every day you're going to check what they're posting, comment, share your thoughts. Try to find 3 people in that company. I would say recruiters and hiring manager might be bombarded with a lot of requests. So maybe just comment on their posts and share them. Try to find a new hire in that company because they were in your shoe. They might share their journey with that company, or they might not share. Try to find, second is someone with the same job title that you are looking for and engage with them. Again, I would say have a 7-day strategy. First, you reach out to these people. After 3 days, if they didn't respond, You reach out again. And if they don't respond after 4 days, try to find another people, because not everyone is active on LinkedIn. Not everyone is engaging on LinkedIn. Let's say if you find someone, go to their activities. If they haven't posted anything for a month, it means that they are not active. Don't waste time. Don't reach out to them. But if they are active, first make comment on their post, share something, and on the third day, send the request. Hey, I know that you posted this. I'm very much interested. Making a conversation. Don't say, hey, Sabine, I know that you're in this company. I'm looking forward. Don't make like that. Build relationship. As I said, it takes time. And how you can build a relationship is engaging in their comments. If this person is, I don't know, a program manager or a project manager, and there's a new article about, tell them, hey, Sabine, I know that you're in this role. I did this article. I feel that it will be very beneficial for you. This is the link. And again, as I said, sometimes Sabine might be seeing, but he's not engaging. He's not responding. So go to the next person. Don't take it personally, because I don't say get bombarded, but I sometimes get requests. And I prefer, when you are sending a LinkedIn request, write a note. I read your article, I read something. Don't send it blankly. Sometimes I accept, sometimes I don't. And the moment I accept, sometimes some people want to sell something to me. And sometimes I tell those people, hey, I want to know you first before you sell me something. And if they try to sell something, I tell them I'm not interested. Or sometimes I remove them if I feel that they are very much persistent. I say thank you and I remove them. So that's also some of your mental health part. You need to surround yourself people that providing you positive mental health and not negative ones. There were times that I felt that there were a lot of people who were constantly sending messages every day, and it wasn't helping me, so I removed them. So do what works for you.
Thanks, man. Over to Aishi.
So, what's common mistake you see professionals make that slows down their job search?
Just apply and do nothing. I feel that if you just it's like post and pray from the recruiter's perspective, or apply and pray from employers, the job seekers' perspective, and they do nothing, right? They feel that you just need to apply 50 roles a day, hoping that something will come. Those days are gone. You need to apply. Just imagine like 50 roles. Are you customizing your resume or just sending them as it is? You need to customize every role you're applying, the qualification, maybe some of the keywords in your jobs, some of the things you need to shift, first and back and forth. So it takes a lot of times, Again, I don't want to say apply only 5, apply to 10, but customize every role you're applying, check the company website, comment on that. And again, if you see a role, maybe give yourself 3 days to do your research, to go on the company website, to comment, to reach to people, and then apply after 3 or 4 days. That's why, because in one of my interviews, there were social media company, and they told me that they've noticed a person constantly commenting, sharing their content. And they reach out to this person, hey, we've noticed that thank you for commenting or sharing about why you are doing this. And he said that I really like your company, I like your content, and that's why I'm sharing. And I said, okay. And then after a while, a job opened, and automatically they thought about this person, and they reach out to me, hey, we have this job, are you interested? Right? So you never know when an opportunity will come up, but you need to be strategic. You cannot make transactional activities every time. And on my YouTube channel, I have a networking playlist, which is, I believe now it's like 50 playlists. Every people I've interviewed, they are giving specific tips how to network. If people can watch those videos, and mostly are like 3 to 5 minutes, it gives you an idea how to network.
And also, with that being said, do you really think cover letter matters in 2026?
That's the question is, I've spoken with some of the recruiters. They said some they read, some they don't. But sometimes hiring managers, they read the cover letter first, then the resume. Because in your cover letter, you're selling yourself, right? At the end of the day, in a resume or your interview, you're selling yourself, you're selling your skills. And you need to remember, is how can you solve your hiring manager's problem, right? The reason there's a job posting is because they have a problem and they need to solve it. So you need to come from that mindset of how am I solving your problem? And I would say if you've done some research and if you can tell that I can help you generate X amount of money, or I can help you minimize time. The moment recruiters or hiring manager hear that you can help them minimize time, bring money and make profit, their eyes will be open. Oh, this person knows what he's talking about. This person is going to help me, because the moment you help your hiring manager, then he's going to be seen as a kind of a good person, or, I don't say rocket star, but, from his boss or her boss, right? So your job is to help your hiring manager seem good in front of their manager. So if you can able to generate or able to demonstrate that you can do these things, you definitely will be one of the top candidates to be called or interviewed.
Is there any strategy you suggest with, like the way you said about resume, like there is like what are you bringing on table? So you put those
So
values.
accomplishment, just put your top accomplishment that I have done X to generate Y by doing this, right? So accomplishment statement is very important. Even in your resume, even your cover letter, you can do that. But even in your cover letter, you can say that, and again, this is an example, that I notice your competitor is this, they're doing this, I propose to do this. Bring solutions, and the moment you can bring a solution, if they're losing a job market, if you're losing profit, that will generate something new to hiring managers' eye. Again, time, money, profit. Those are the things that employers or companies are looking for, right? They want to make money, they want to make profit in less time. So if you can help them somewhere, somehow generate those, then you'll be a candidate to be interviewing.
And so you previously talked about networking, and there's so many people who are like kind of introvert and they don't
Yes.
like to network. So is there any tip for them you
Yeah,
think?
I would say if you're going in person before COVID, now after COVID, also people are still doing that. Maybe approach 3 people. Don't overwhelm yourself. Try to reach 3 new people and ask questions about them. People like to talk about themselves. So the thing that I can give you is that ask them, what is the purpose of you attending this event? They might say, I need to meet people. It's something that I like, or the food or something. So, and then tell, oh, then what's your job? What's your, about them, nothing about you. And then follow up with them on LinkedIn. If you can meet 3 new people in every event, great. If you need 1, it's a success also, because before this event, you didn't know this person, now you know it. So don't make that I need to meet everyone. It's overwhelming. 3, you can do it. And again, sometimes, when people, when there's a free food and people are, I don't say collecting food, they are taking the food, there can be also a conversation that you can open up, not about the weather, not about, don't bring politics or, religion or other stuff. I feel that the question is, what's the purpose from attending this event, or what are you what do you want to gain from attending this event? Those are questions that people would like to talk. And again, if you have successful 3 new people, that's great. But the part is that people forget is the follow-up. Add them on LinkedIn if they are active. Some people still have business cards, some they don't. But follow up with them on LinkedIn after 2 or 3 days. Hey, we connected. I was very much interested in knowing you. Can we grab a coffee online or in person if you're in the same city, or, if not via Zoom, things like that, and go from there. Have a very purposeful mind when you're going to event. I want to meet 3 new people. Because what happens to event is we automatically grab to our friends and we forget about other people. So meet 3 new people, then go to be with your friends or your whoever came with you.
And the way you suggested right now, like don't talk about politics. So do you have any do's and don'ts while network authentically?
Don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, don't talk about that things are very sensitive. As I said, have a very cautious intention to know this person. So talk about, again, as I said, what's their intention from attending this event, what industry they are working, what trends they are in their industry. And then you can ask at the very end, do you recommend any books to read? Or do you know any other person that I can speak that's in your industry? Those are the things that people like. As I said, people like to talk, and the book part, I've seen a lot of people are using. It's a very interesting these days. A lot of people, there's a lot of books. So those are the things that they can do.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Arishan. In terms of some practical tips for early career professionals or newcomers, what would be some of the important tips you would give them for building
Yeah.
relationships in their journey?
Yeah. So I do this workshop for newcomers, or even sometimes the students that I'm helping, is 7 steps. So the first thing is we talked about identifying their values or having a clarity what roles they need to know. They need to know that by heart. Second is having a positive mindset and doing those activities, as I said, going outdoor, doing a lot of activities, coffee, meeting, reading a book, taking time off. Third is knowing your stories. Everyone has a story. If you know your story, you can be your authentic self and you can relate to any job that you're applying. Fourth is being active on LinkedIn and being there every day, at least minimum 1 hour, doing every other activities, either commenting, posting, attending events, joining groups, and talking to people. The fifth thing is you need to know your personal brand. What is your personal brand? What are people are talking about you behind closed doors? You need to know that very well. The sixth one is creating content. Everyone has to create content. It can be start. I read this article. Those are the 3 things that resonated with me. What about you? Things like that. If you can post every Friday, Monday, Wednesday, any day that you want, that will make you different than other people that's not reading, because recruiters, if they like your resume, they go on LinkedIn, they will do research about you. And if they know who you are, they want to know your thoughts. They need to know what you can bring to the table, and LinkedIn is a good platform. And the 7th thing is networking. As I said, building authentic relationship. It's very important. Connect with the people, follow up with them, engage with their content, and making sure that you don't make it transactional.
Right.
And then apply. Don't apply from day one. Apply is the last resort. And then I have another workshop for how to apply after you do those 7 things.
And if someone could improve only 3 things on their LinkedIn profile, because we speak a lot about LinkedIn, what should they focus on?
3 areas. I want to say maybe 4. All the areas are important, but first, your banner is important. That's your first impression. People will check it out. So you can write an accomplishment statement there, or you can write a question that's related in your industry, something that will grab their attention, like books. Like the first thing we grab is the cover. So your banner is important. Your picture is very important also, because people relate to pictures. People will feel something from your picture, right? Don't cut it, make sure it's very current, making sure it's proper to your industry. The third one is your headliner. Your headliner should be 3 job postings that you are interested, 3 skills that you have, an accomplishment statement. And the fourth one is your about section. Your about section, you need to tell your story, right? So, my name is Meher. I came to Canada 12 years ago from Lebanon. Tell your story, your past. Currently, I'm in Newfoundland doing this. And the future is I want to work with companies who have similar values like mine. My values are like this. My accomplishments are this. And the very end, call for action. I like to connect with people with similar mindset. Let's connect. Let's have a coffee. So that's how you need to tell your story. And of course, your experience should have accomplishment statement. You need to have skills. And the important part also making sure that you have referrals. At least 1 or 2 referrals you need to have, because employers will check, is this person employable? Are people referring to them? So that's the key.
And just to clarify, you mentioned about banner. So are you specifically looking at the banner image, or it's about the title?
The banner, not the title, the whole banner. That it's like a website, right? What do you want? What are you telling people when you get up? I'm your next software developer because I have done X, Y, and Z. Are you looking for a program manager? Don't look further. I'm your guy. Check my bio. Or you can say, do you know that me and Einstein have something in common? Check my bio to know more. Something that will grab their attention. Again, with the use of ChatGPT, you can ask like, hey, I'm trying to create a banner that's catchy. This is my industry. Give ideas, right? and then pick something that speaks to you, that speaks your language, that's really relate to you. And use Canva. In Canva, there are free options that you can use. And it's okay to invest in yourself a little bit, $100 or something. Maybe a designer can create something. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I know that when a newcomer or an immigrant, every money counts, but you also need to invest a little bit in yourself, to get those. You left your country, you left everything, you're coming here with all, expectation and little bit, invest in yourself. Don't be afraid.
Thanks, man. Over to
Welcome.
Aichi.
Thank you, Supin. So I have question about the professionals trying to build a personal brand, like
Yeah.
the way you suggested about LinkedIn and everything.
Yeah.
So without feeling like they're self-promoting, but still they're creating their own personal brand, what are the tips you would suggest or give it to them?
I would say is know your values will be the first thing that you need to know. Who am I? What am I bringing? Which industry or what kind of people I'm talking to? Am I talking to people in the industry, specific industry you're talking to, or you're talking to general people, or you're talking to the HR people, or you're talking to the sales people? Knowing your audience is very important. And then what mediums are you using to communicate with them? Are you using videos? Are you using posts? Are you using the combination? Are you using infographics? Knowing what language you're using is very important. I would say, and building in your relationship is the part that your personal brand will also show up. I'm a very social person. In any event I go, I like to engage with people. I like to speak with people, and I am an outdoor person. I like to go out. So those are the things that I know that I am, and I try to engage with people who are similar. And again, as I said, in order to test, maybe ask your close friends, who do you think I am? And then start from there. And then that would give you an idea. And again, there are some softwares and there are some assessments that you can do, and you can identify what are your values, and maybe you can use them on your banner. 4 or 5 of them you can use. And again, on LinkedIn, don't be afraid to change. If you change a job, if you change your look, or I recommend people every year do an audit to your LinkedIn and change your picture, change your banner, get a refreshment, right? And that's because also people change, right? Maybe last year I was focusing on project management, but now I want to focus on executives, or I want to focus on leadership. Then change everything in your banner about section that reflects, because now you're talking that. But I also heard from Gary Vee, who's very influential person, is in LinkedIn, we used to be very specific, narrow. I'm only career coach and I'm going to only career coach. Apparently, it's okay from time to time to talk about art. This is my art. I'm also an art person. It's okay maybe from time to time talk about topics that are not relevant, but it's who you are, right? So apparently that's also trending, and we're looking for what's going to happen. So don't be afraid. Talk about things that you're passionate about besides job. If you're passionate about hockey, if you're passionate about art, if you're passionate about fashion, but you're not in fashion, talk about them. You never know.
So what happens when you start talking about something which is not actually related to your field of job?
It can be that you are a real person. You are a person besides a job. You're a person besides your job title. You have a variety of things. That's why maybe in your banner you can say, I am passionate about these areas, and talk about them besides the job, right?
And there are higher chances that the company who are the part in fashion, who are looking for a PR agency,
Yeah,
those
you
kind of
never know,
company.
because when you're passionate about it, you don't think about this as a job because you love it, right? It doesn't feel like a job for you. Because job seekers are so much focused, I need a job now, they don't think about anything else, and they burn out. So that's why I
Yeah.
feel that let's try to find something that you like. If there's an alignment between the job you're doing and your personal, that should be alignment. Definitely there should be an alignment, 80% or more. But besides job, what do you like to do? Hang out with your family, be outdoor, paint. In every event I go, sometimes I talk about my paint, and sometimes in companies that I work, I've taken one of my paintings and put it in the office, and people, you paint. Oh yeah, it opens also conversation.
Yeah, definitely. And so, if one piece of advice you could give today to our listeners, what would it be?
I would give two advices. First, be active on LinkedIn daily, at least 1 hour, and have an purposeful activity to do. I'm going to comment today. I'm going to reach out today. I'm going to comment on groups. I'm going to listen, or I'm going to comment or post something. Be genuine on what activities you're doing. Second, be strategic in networking, in finding people who are really you want to build relationships with them. Those are the top two things that people need to do before applying for a job. Even if you have a job, keep doing those two things and be your authentic self wherever you are.
And how's 2026 job market shaping up?
Recently, I've interviewed someone and I haven't posted that yet. It will be posted end of January. Is AI and personal brand. AI and personal brand will kind of take over based on her, but I would say AI definitely is going to conversation because I believe it was 2022. I was here in Newfoundland and I was speaking with a colleague of mine. I was saying, okay, what's next? What's the next thing in the job market or in the job journey that's going to know? Because it's the cycle we know, as the 7 steps we talked about, we know that's the cycle, and then apply, interview, things like that. What is new in the job search journey? ChatGPT, AI came and changed the game. So it's still going to be AI, but your authentic self, your personal brand, your visibility on LinkedIn, those are the things also we're going to look in 2026.
Thank you so much, Meher. You have joined and you've shared some of the insights, which I think our viewers and listeners are going to learn from it and maybe applying in their current journey so that they can also get jobs and they can also find the dream role, what they are looking for. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for being in, and I will recommend your listeners to check my YouTube channel, Meher Mardayan Career Coach. As I said, I've interviewed 187 people and growing, and all the tips are there. All the playlists are there. There are playlists about how to stay positive, about the clarity, personal brand, LinkedIn, networking, resume, interview preparation. They're all there for free for them. You just need to implement.
We'll
Thank
also
you.
have your LinkedIn
Yeah,
posted below
LinkedIn
our
account for sure. If you
description.
have any question, reach out to me and please leave a message. How did you hear about me? If it's from this podcast or something else, it also gives me an idea about you because I really like to know people. And that's important, not just for me, for other people. If you're reaching out, put a comment in the message that you're sending.
Thanks, Meher, for your time. And
Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.